tell you what, the only time I've seen you is in a picture.
This is her daughter, Marilyn Parsons.
I'm happy to meet you, Marilyn.
This is Jean Groberg.
How are you?
Jean, I'm happy to meet you. And this is my wife, Karen, over here.
You remember me?
Hi, how you doing? This is David Morgan.
Hi.
Oh, hey, boy. Did you get the tracks coming down?
Yeah, I recognize you.
It's been a long
It's
been forever.
So we're all here.
Well, that's wonderful. Golly, thanks for coming down and seeing our pride and joy, our building here.
Well,
I understand a whole family went to this school except Ernadine, is that right?
I went to kindergarten here.
Okay.
And I went to first grade. And
did you?
I thought I went to part of second.
I never did.
But we're not quite at
You Tater School, me too. I didn't go here today.
I went to kindergarten here.
Kindergarten here is all.
Before we moved to California. And
all been hydrotech, all cleaned and preserved, and the brick have all been what they call retucked with the brick. It's all been repainted. We now have a new roof on it. We took off 5 layers of roof this last year and put on a new roof on it. The building has now been seismically upgraded. We put in over $200,000 in this building for a seismic upgrade in the building. We're in the process of landscaping the front right now, and we're just getting the concrete in. And these will be planting areas for shrubs and for perennials around here. And this is our parking lot. We need to refinish our parking lot. And then between those 2 pine trees, we're going to put a picnic arbor to help the people from town to have a place to bring their families up and enjoy the hill they roll down. We were able to locate 3 of the original old lampposts that were in Payson Main Street. You remember those, where the water used to run down Main Street and the lights downtown. Yep. Yeah, well, we were able to find 3 of them.
You should have
did you meet all my
fire. He always has been from school forever.
It's interesting to read this book of Al.
It's in the place. Just for us.
And the theater. And we've had the Utah.
Oh, how wonderful!
We can see 10,000 people in this natural amphitheater down here.
Do you have sometime when you get a chance, a card or a flyer on when you have
when they have them?
When you have them, because we drove down a month or so ago to the band concert.
Okay, every Sunday night they still have the little band concert. You run around
every Sunday night they have band concert.
Yep. Up the park.
In the park.
Up in the park. Just like they've done for how many years? I think it started in 1928.
I don't know, Paul played in it for many years.
I remember loving to hear you play.
Yes.
And Monty ended up finishing 52 years before he died.
Well,
Jean, do you remember those?
Oh, I do. I definitely do.
They do. They do.
The bear pit is still there?
The bear pit is still there. No bear in it.
No bear, but the pit
is there. In fact, my grandsons were playing on it last Sunday night.
Be darned.
Climbing on the roof and sliding down the light pole. Al, this is our new amphitheater, outdoor amphitheater we're building down here. And we've got the basic. We'll have a makeup room, a dressing room, and a restroom inside of it. Way down in the far end. And we're in the process now of putting a roof on it, so that the roof will come out as an amphitheater, so the whole concrete part will be covered.
It's amazing. We went
into a tree.
Out into the a whole bunch of them can go off here at the same time.
They're just filled with people here.
Remember when we used to do it and have to dodge the trees at the bottom?
Yeah.
We've been
I've never been up to Winter Court before.
So I had a citizen who volunteered to put the pad in for us, and we moved it and set it there. Now we've got an Eagle Scout in his scoutmaster department who's going to come up and spruce it up and repaint it, and we'll have it. It's library.
Oh.
You remember where that was? Right in the center of town. Last year, while I was up to the Labor Day celebration, a woman came up to me, Mrs. Dixon, and she says, my daughter in California has connections with Jackson Perkins Rose Company. She gave me a phone number to call. I called them, and Jackson Perkins contributed all those roses for us. Beautiful first-grade hybrid rose. We planted them this spring, and there they are. The root system is what we had, and they.
We noticed them as we came up.
Of it and keep it clean. This portion, and it's been farmed out to different families. It comes up and has helped maintain the garden for us. Well, it is. It's worked out. It's worked out really
This
well.
was volunteer. You didn't.
Volunteer.
You weren't out beating them over the
We're
head.
not out beating them over the head. They come to me because the city on a grant on this to do this. That's right. This from here over. Okay, and the way I did it is, I'm sure you remember, this is where the old railroad, the old Orem cut, and the old
cut.
That's right, the old cut. And it was here. There was a fence that was along here for about 50 years. And finally, when I heard about this grant, why I could connect the connections together to get the money.
This is the mayor of Payson giving the history of
that come from
how the improvements have been made here on the Peteetneet School.
Construction over here. Well, Harry Davis over here came over and volunteered his big cat and a ton of fill to help us fill it. But the only way I got it is because it had to be on a designated highway on their highway list. And this old Highway 6 that went to Salem was on it. And this highway is the Nebo Loop Scenic Byway that goes here. So we had two highways.
This is the highway up Payson Canyon. It takes you up
all the way up to the cow cabin and
down to
at Nephi.
That fence costs
$38 a running foot.
last
That's
week.
right. And that's
right down just bottom of the hill, where the train, the electric train,
Yes, that's right.
came out of the cut.
Yeah, he's named after his
One of them, I'd already sold the tomatoes. They had to go get them. And we got right there on the railroad track,
Yeah, I was
and the
getting
horse
more.
stopped. He said, I'm not going any
He's
further.
going to
And
California State
the
University.
train actually came out of this cut and stopped until I got her off the track.
Somebody's looking out for you
You
again.
better believe it. And one other time,
100 miles south
I
of
was
Sacramento.
coming on my bicycle and tried to
You like the golf coach.
turn. I was coming this way on my bicycle and tried to turn and got the wheel caught in
What?
On the side
in
of
the
the rail.
track, and down I go. Here comes the train. Well, I got up and got off that time before the train got there.
Did it get your bike? Probably did.
Oh, it didn't hurt my bike.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I took my bike with me.
Oh, all
that was more valuable than my life.
You want to get it, didn't you?
I had
No,
two
you just
experiences
stand
right down
right
there.
there.
Oh,
You
dear.
did.
Well, anyway, the garden.
I didn't write either one of them off in that book.
Whatever.
Now, the whole thing has been filled, right?
Yep.
That's what I tell you. You
It's all been filled and purchased. What? You want everybody to turn around? All right, now we're supposed to look at the photographer here.
Hurry up. Run the zoom and you You girls get up front. You little short ones get up front here.
Oh, we can see you. Come on, please.
I'm not sure, but Mother is.
Come on, all you gals are a lot shorter than you.
Yes. I'll say.
just turn your little body around here.
Yep. Come on.
Get back here, Paul.
I ain't being short.
Okay, point that out again, Paul, now that I've got this on.
Roadster.
That Dr. Founts is
Do you, Marie asked you, or Jean asked you to
Yeah.
point it out
That's
again.
Dad right there.
It's Earl.
And I don't know,
Okay.
and that's his old Model A Roadster.
And that's Dr. Fout's cabin.
Yeah. And that,
Is it still there?
yes, it's still there and it belongs to Max Warner.
The ones that people, anyway, Alberta. That's it.
Tell you this story. One year, we had picked the peaches 2 or 3 times, something like that. all that was left, as far as we were concerned, was the gleaning.
I'm going to tell the story for you. The rest of it, I remember it.
You remember that? Finish.
I think so. I'm going to try to finish that story. Earl found somebody who came and contracted to buy all of the peaches, and
You read the story.
I read the story. And now let's see. It's something about you found that peaches, if you put some in the refrigerator and they froze, and when they started thawing.
Now you're mixing up two stories.
Am I?
Yeah, you're mixing up two stories. No,
All
strictly
right.
the story on the peaches is Earl found this guy who wanted to come in and finish picking all the peaches, and he offered him a price for the peaches that Earl thought he couldn't resist. So he made the decision to take it. And this guy brought his crew in, picked all the peaches, and by this time they're big, luscious, you know, really, they were the top peaches and the whole thing. And made a lot more than we got out of it. So that was a lesson that the Huber boys learned, is they better think twice before you make deals.
Before you make a deal. Okay, now about the frozen one. You decided that they tasted really good when they.
It was an apple story.
Oh, okay.
And that happened in the Gales. The Gales raised onions, and they lived sort of across the street in Nevada. Their onion shed was just right a kitty corner across the street from where we lived. And we had picked our apples, and the price of apples went way down. So we made arrangements with the Gales to store the apples in their shed, hoping that the price would come up some. And winter came, and the apples froze. In the meantime, the price hadn't come up, and coming into spring a little bit, you know, along February, March, something like that, we got sort of a warm spell, and the Gales were saying, "Hey, you guys better get those damned apples out of there. We need the shed." So Earl came to me and said, "Albert, you start feeding all those apples to the pigs." We had a few pigs, and I carted several bushels of them over to the pigs and fed them to them. And this one day, I'm feeding some apples to the pigs, and I felt the apple, and I thought, that's not frozen badly. So I bit into it, and it was delicious. So I don't think we fed 10 bushels to the pigs, but those apples had frozen solid, and then they thawed out very, very slowly, so they didn't lose any of the uses.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
And then the price of apples, by now, there's no apples available. The price of apples came up, and the Huber boys came up very good.
Oh, that's a story with a happy ending.
Edited what I had written. He left both those stories in.
Oh, we left them in.
He left both those stories in. Yeah.
Well, we're back from a lovely lunch, and we're going to go inside the Peteetneet now and see what's going on there. A little bit of restoration here.
Any brick that you could find in here that would be the ideal one, you can just pop that thing out and take it. You're going to replace this whole thing anyway.
Did you approve? Hey, great. Everyone, watch your step.
Remember these stairs coming down?
Actually, the whole chief of Peteetneet, he evidently was a pretty good friend of these settlers, because they named the creek where they camped the first night in October the 20th, 1850. That's where they camped down by Nevercruiter down there. And they named it Peteetneet Creek, and it's still named Peteetneet Creek. And they named it Peteetneet Town. And there's a town in Peteetneet Town. And they named this Peteetneet, the Peteetneet School. So he must have not been all that bad, you see, the guy. And anyway, we just about start in this room right here, and we'll go around. This is the room developed by the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers, and they call it the Victorian Room. And what the Victorian Room is a room where they have created a different room as how a home would have looked in 1900 when the school was built. And so this is what they call the fainting room, or whatever, the fainting couch, etc. And the kitchen is, you'll notice the old ice cream maker and this is old piece of carpet.
Graduated from here.
Oh, this is wonderful.
This is the kitchen, and they have a lot of authentic things that they use there. The old churn, the old ice cream maker, the cream separator over here, and the old bathtub.
The coffee grinder come out of
The coffee grinder, the scales, etc. The old wood stove, and how these women ever cooked a good meal, trying to control the temperature on that.
Now, our stove, our old stove had a warmer up above on where that
yes,
shelf is.
I've
There was
seen them.
a thing you could lift this thing back.
And some of them had a water tank for a humidifier, you
Yeah,
see.
and maybe we had a water tank. I'm not sure about that, but it was something.
This is the parlor, and this old bench came out of the bottom of a well that they found over by one of the Dixon properties, and we had it restored. This
Beautiful.
little bench
Bottom
over
of
here.
a well.
But it makes it brings back a lot of memories. You see these types of things. Now these clothes here are all the authentic clothes by the people who wore them in Payson and the year that they wore them. And we have some 1860, 1896.
Isn't that fascinating?
Some of those
Graduation.
beautiful. You know, these women at that time, they had maybe one of
It
these
made them
dresses.
look nice.
Lucky maybe
for
two.
being
There
that age.
possibly wouldn't even have one of these fancy type dresses.
6 years old.
Oh, you guys have done a wonderful job.
No Jewish.
This
Well,
is
well,
really
it's
neat.
1917.
At the copper washer. Oh,
What's that?
She lived in that house up on the hill.
look at that.
Pointing out to you when we were up there.
Which one? The Jewish?
This room right here is an interesting room here. This is their bedroom, and this old bed here is a bed that has the rope ties on it, and then it has a tick mattress of straw that goes on top of the ropes. And we've all heard the expression, sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. Well, the tight means is they have to keep tightening these ropes, you see, so it didn't sag in the middle. And with this straw tick, it had a tendency to pick up bed bugs in that straw tick. So anyway, this came right over with the pioneers, right, with the wagons, this bed and the old wash basin, no interior plumbing.
Chamber pot.
Got to have a chamber pot.
Where's the pot that went under the bed?
It's right there.
Oh, there's a pot,
There it is.
but it's not under the bed. It's supposed to be under the bed.
That quilt.
They'd miss that one, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
The sewing room. The sewing room. When I went in the military service, my grandmother gave me one of these little irons to take with me so I could have my uniform all pressed nice. And so the first opportunity that I had at Fort Bliss, Texas, I thought I'd use that. So I heated it all up and put it on there, and it took me about 40 seconds to have a burnt mark right in my new suit. So I took that and used it for a paperweight for the rest of the time. Anyway, this is the music room right here, and the old organ, and the old violin, and etc. Type pictures. This is the toy room, and all the old type toys that they had. And this wall is a wall that has a lot of the old historic, the old William Smith Tanner, and the Nevekers, the Dixons. The Dixons was really a prominent name in this town for a long, long time.
I remember that family.
Yep.
I had a friend.
It doesn't look like very much fun.
And this is old James Pace. He was the first group that came to Payson, the leader. That's what they eventually named Payson after. Was James Pace. And they first spelled it P-A-C-E-N, and then later they spelled it P-A-Y-S-O-N. How they changed it, I'm not sure about that.
He was a plantation owner in the South. Then he joined the church and came out west, and Brigham Young sent him down here to colonize this area. This was Peteetneet town before.
Yeah.
So it was named after him.
Some of those people, did they recognize some of those?
I don't think any of us
Most
would recognize any of
most
those.
them I don't.
Yeah.
Some of his relatives.
Some of them.
Really does or not.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, these are volunteer hostesses that come up and spend their time to have people in here
Don't do that.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
No, I was
This is
raised
the-
here, and then I.
This is the room that